Frank Clarke, a fine offensive end, brings 3 years of NFL experience with him from the Cleveland Browns. The Eagles lead 13-6 in the third period. Eddie LeBaron uncorks the Cowboys' money play. Frank Clarke gathers in the long rollout pass, and in the race to the goal line, Frank's an easy winner. Now it's 13-12. Little Eddie LeBaron, the smallest man ever to make the grade as a pro quarterback, gives the Dallas Rooters another big boost as he connects cross-country with Frank Clarke to put the ball on the Steeler 10. Don Meredith sets their minds at ease in the first quarter. Don retreats and fires to Frank Clarke. The Steelers are completely fooled, and Frank races in to give the Cowboys a quick score. It's 7-0 Dallas.
Eddie LeBaron at his best under pressure, fakes into the line and goes for a big strike with Frank Clarke making a beautiful catch to score. The Cowboys still trail 21-10. In the fourth quarter, Steady Eddie is given plenty of time to throw, and he takes advantage of his chance. Frank Clarke is in for the score, and the Cowboys narrow the gap to 21-17.
Another reason for the fine play of the Cowboys was the sensational season of Frank Clarke. Frank takes a Don Meredith pass against the Redskins. Frank shakes off 2 Indian defenders, then hightails it to the end zone for one of his 14 touchdowns. Eddie LeBaron alternated at quarterback with Meredith and has the same results when he dialed Frank Clarke's number. Frank scores here against the Steelers. The Cowboys engaged in an offensive thriller against the Eastern champion Giants in New York. The big play for Dallas found Eddie LeBaron throwing long to Frank Clarke for a 75-yard touchdown. This play threw a real scare at the mighty Giants. Don Meredith was the Cowboys' sharpest shooter. Watch in slow motion as Don fires to Frank Clarke. This touchdown against the Eagles clinched a victory as the Cowboys triumphed 27-20.
Yankee Stadium again as the hard-riding young Cowboys of Dallas come into New York's home of champions. It's the Cowboys' ball in the second quarter, and they boast a long scoring arm in Eddie LeBaron. A long, lofting throw to Clarke, who catches it on the run and then turns on the steam. A 75-yard touchdown play that puts Dallas out in front.
Now number 17, Don Meredith, the Dallas quarterback. Looking for 82, Frank Clarke. Touchdown. Dallas leads San Francisco 7-0. On first down and 10 now as we pick up the action at the 24-yard line. Over the middle to Clarke. He scores. And Dallas leads 14-7. Third and 32 back at the 50-yard line. Meredith comes right back, this time to Frank Clarke. Cowboys aren't finished. First down and 10 at the 38-yard line. Meredith for Clarke. 28, Howie Williams makes the tackle.
Dallas enjoys the distinction of scoring the season's first touchdown as Don Meredith spears Frank Clarke with a 6-pointer, which gives the Cowboys the lead. The Cowboys are down by 7 in the final period as injured quarterback Don Meredith checks the charts on the Cardinal defense. The information is passed along to John Roach, who pairs with Frank Clarke for a big gain, but it's not enough to carry the Cowboys to victory, and they drop their opener to the eventual second-place finishing Cardinals. The opening period, it appears that they may do just that as Meredith and Clarke combine to bring the ball to the Redbird 4-yard line. Now from the standard pro-type tee, Meredith continues his pinpoint passing. The timing is perfect on a sideline pattern to Clarke that's worth another 12 yards. A 74-yard Cowboy drive is climaxed with Meredith passing to Clarke. It's a 14-3 game with the Cowboys in the driver's seat. Second period play features Dallas on the offense with Meredith throwing to Frank Clarke for a gain of 27 yards. Tommy McDonald has earned his spurs as a Dallas receiver. The little man comes into this game as the number 2 Big D receiver, topped only by Frank Clarke, who's having his best year ever. Meredith converts the miscue into a Dallas touchdown as he arches the ball over Allen Webb to Frank Clarke for a 14-0 Cowboy spread. Meredith makes the breaks pay off in points with a perfect pass to Clarke as the Cowboys outscore the Giants 31-21 to capture their 3rd straight victory. Frank Clarke, the 3rd leading receiver in the NFL, caught 65 passes this past season, and few, if any, were more spectacular than this one. Frank stuns the Steelers as he spins away for a 30-yard gain. Frank Clarke's effort pushes the Cowboys' cause deep into Giant territory.
First down on the Eagle 30, shotgun formation. Craig Morton back. He's looking for Frank Clarke. Clarke is open. Clarke has a step and scores for Dallas. 70 yards in 11 plays. Eagles 35, Cowboys 24. Pick up the action now. Dallas with the ball, 3rd and 10. Meredith, the quarterback. He's got good pass protection. He's going to the outside. He has Frank Clarke. Clarke stumbles and falls and gets down inside Pittsburgh territory. A 17-yard gain. 3rd down 11 now, as we see Meredith fading the throw in slow motion. He's got good pass protection. He's going for Clarke, this time coming across the middle, and Clarke makes a diving grab and gets away from Woodson. Bradshaw finally makes the tackle. A 16-yard leaping catch for Frank Clarke. And now the spotlight camera of Frank Clarke running the post corner pattern. 82's wide open, and Meredith rifles the ball for him, and he's out of bounds. It's going to be called an incomplete pass. A great pattern, though, by one of the fine receivers of the National Football League. Meredith, the quarterback, all the way for the Dallas Cowboys. Here's the fake. Now it's the toss back to his flanker, Frank Clarke. It's an end-around play. Behind good blocking at the 30. Brady Keys spins and gets back into the defensive play and makes a tackle. 21 yards on an end-around play to Frank Clarke. Let's see this now on the spotlight camera. Watch 82. Take the reverse toss behind his blocker and look for daylight. Brady Keys makes a tremendous defensive effort to stop him from going all the way. First down on the Steeler 11-yard line. 19-13. Dallas held and now takes over the ball. We pick up the action, 2nd and 9 on the Dallas 44. Man in motion to the right is Reeves. Meredith goes quickly to the outside to Frank Clarke. Clarke gets away from a tackler at the 45, dances down to around the 35, 33-yard line. He's knocked out of bounds there. A 25-yard gain by Frank Clarke. 2nd down, 18 on the Steeler 39. Meredith back to throw. He's looking for Frank Clarke. His in has run a deep hook pattern and fights for the ball and comes down with it. A fine effort by Frank Clarke. He's covered closely by Brady Keys, and they tackle him hard, but it's an 11-yard gain. Let's check this now on the spotlight camera. Watch Clarke from the upright position. Drive Keys back, and then come back for the football. Fine effort by both players.
On 1st and goal on the 1. Meredith to Frank Clarke for the touchdown. And it's a tied ball game. 7 for the Steelers, 7 for the Cowboys. We'll take a look at that play again from the ground level camera, and you can watch the action of Meredith, the action of the defense of the Steelers, and the catch by Frank Clarke. Third and 8 now on the 44. In slow motion, you can watch Don Meredith. Has good protection as he fires to Frank Clarke for 11 yards. First and 10 in the 14. On the end around, Frank Clarke. 13 yards before he steps out of bounds.
Next, Perk cuts down some tall timber, enabling Frank Clarke to make this key reception. Clarke heads up the Cowboy receiving corps, a group second to none in pro football. Let's show you what we mean. A great individual effort by Frank results in a Cowboy touchdown. From the shotgun, Craig Morton watches. Frank eludes Al Nelson of the Eagles, and it's touchdown Dallas.
Again, Don Meredith. This time looking for Clarke. 20 yards to the 8-yard line. Riggle making the stop. Now on third down and 40. Meredith again taking to the air and again being pressured out of that pocket. To Frank Clarke, a gain of 13 yards. Now on third and 10 on the 24 with just a little more than a minute remaining in the first half. Don Meredith, this time with better protection. Looking for Frank Clarke. For 13 yards to the 11-yard line. Again, Morton. This time to Clarke. A touchdown for the Cowboys. Danny Villanueva converts, and it's the Cowboys 47, the Falcons 14. 4 minutes remaining in the ball game. Craig Morton at quarterback for the Cowboys. Throwing deep for Frank Clarke. A 33-yard gain on the play. Glass making the tackle.
Second down and 17. Meredith looking for Frank Clarke. He's running a good corner pattern. Clarke is open and takes the ball. Ronnie Medved there, but just a second too late. Dallas 35, Philadelphia nothing. Don Meredith with good pass protection. Going for Frank Clarke on the deep hook pattern for 16 yards. On the Philadelphia 12. Rome faking the draw play. Going to Frank Clarke right for the sidelines, and Clarke makes a good juggling catch. Rome back to throw. Being rushed and goes for Frank Clarke. Clarke with a good move gets into Eagle territory.
We're late in the first half with St. Louis leading Dallas by a score of 7-3. Meredith lost the ball to Frank Clarke. He gathers it in for 14 as Larry Wilson is hanging on. It's another first down. Meredith. He hits Clarke for 10 yards. Jim Burson has him on his shoulder. Now Meredith to Frank Clarke. 8 yards and another first down. Later in the fourth period, the Dallas Cowboys are in possession. Meredith passing to Clarke. A gain of 19 yards and a first down. With seconds remaining, Meredith retreats and throws to Clarke in the end zone for the touchdown. So the Dallas Cowboys have 21 points, but the final score is Cleveland 30, Dallas 21.
Now again on super slow motion. Don Meredith. Looking deep for Frank Clarke. There's Clarke getting behind Willie Daniel and taking the toss for a touchdown. The Cowboys 38, the Steelers 14. And let's take a look at that play again from the top. There it is. And there's Clarke for the score. Cowboys ball, Jerry Roman quarterback. Cowboys lead it 45-21. We're in the fourth quarter. Frank Clarke. Fine catch for 17 yards.
Again, it's Clarke on the end around. And he picks up 9 yards before Paul Martha brings him down. Now Meredith to Clarke. Out of bounds after a gain of 14. So Dallas has it 1st and 10. Don Meredith. Goes to Frank Clarke. Gain of 15 yards as he's bounced by Mike Howell. Frank Clarke finally takes the handoff on an end around. Don Meredith to Frank Clarke. A gain of 15 yards.
Is now in that both the Cards and the Browns have lost. As Clarke on an end around picks up 12 yards. A win or a tie will sew up the Eastern Division. Jerry Roan alternating at quarterback with Morton. It's Frank Clarke. And Brig Owen. It's Clarke, but it's a gain of 15.
The closing moments of the first half. Dallas trying to get on the scoreboard again. Frank Clarke takes it. It's a first down at the Giant 35.
The Green Bay fumble gives Dallas new confidence. Meredith passes to Frank Clarke for a first down at the Dallas 38. On 3rd and 20, Meredith produces his biggest play. Timing his delivery to the last split second, Don discovers tight end Clarke all alone. The 68-yard touchdown brings the score to 34-27. Suddenly, the pressure is on the Packers. Dandy Don wastes no time. He uses his most effective pattern with tight end Clarke, the receiver, for 21 yards. With 1:58 left, Meredith tries for Clarke again. Interference called on Tom Brown makes it goal to go, and the Cowboys are just 2 yards away from a possible sudden death playoff.
Speedy Frank Clarke could operate at either flanker or tight end, and scored from both positions.
Throwing from a good pocket, Meredith connects with Frank Clarke as Dallas moves inside the Rams' 5. New quarterback Craig Morton spears Frank Clarke as Dallas drives to the Ram 33.
Dallas left end took off on an end reverse. 11-year veteran Frank Clarke, number 82, rambled 56 yards to wrap up a 24-10 Cowboy victory before a very disappointed New Orleans crowd.
On a 4th and goal situation on the Washington 16, Morton hit Frank Clarke for a touchdown to cut the Redskin lead to 14 points.
The end around was fashionable this season. The Cowboys used 3 different receivers, and no one was more effective than number 82, Frank Clarke.